Hello everybody, welcome back to Tavian's World of Reptiles. I hope you are all doing well and taking care of yourselves. It has been a long time coming, but we are finally here, kicking off the very first video of the 5 families of snake series that I mentioned a while back. And as you can tell from the title of this video, we are going to be kicking things off with talking about the Boidae family. Now, I have 5 different boas, and so I decided that while I was talking about boas today, that I would just overlap some footage of my personal boas so that you guys can see what they look like and how different they are while I'm actually talking about the species as whole. So you will not be able to see my face too much in this, but that's okay. You're gonna get some pretty good video footage. Now, with that all being said, let's get started and talk about the Boidae family. Boidae, commonly known as boas, are a reasonably primitive species of snake. They are mostly found in the Americas. However, they also inhabit some areas of Asia, Europe, Madagascar, Africa, and some of the Pacific Islands. They are easily the most impressive and well-known species of snakes. However, with that being said, throughout doing some of the research for this family, I kept seeing that there were 2 species of snake named boa, but they are in fact not a part of the Boidae family, and those being the split-jawed boa and the dwarf boa, which I'm a little bit confused about because I've always been under the impression that dwarf boas were in the same family as common boas. However, now that I see that, there's obviously more to be understood there, and I'll have to save that for another video after I've learned a little bit more about it myself. Now, of course, if you know much about that, please share that information in the comments so that we can all learn about it as well. So with that being said, this video is going to be focusing on true boas. Now, true boas are made up of 2 subfamilies called Boinae and Ericinae. Now, don't judge me. I'm not really great at scientific and Latin names, so I'm just trying to do it my best to give that to you, but I have it typed out there on the screen, so whenever I say it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, the Ericinae, also known as sand boas, usually have the smaller of the boa species and also fall into their own family called Ericidae. Now, Boinae, also known as true boas, hold most of the boa species in it, which include things like my tree boas, my rainbow boa, my rosy boa, Dumerose boa, and my boa constrictors, and that's just to name a few. Now I'm going to sidetrack here because I really want to focus on boa constrictors for a minute. As I said earlier in this video, they are one of the most commonly seen snakes in the hobby. If you've ever been to any kind of store that sells snakes, you've probably seen one. However, what you have probably seen is something that looks a lot like my girl Artemis here, or that looks like my girl Maleficent here. Chances are 9 times out of 10 they've been labeled as red-tailed boas. This is incorrect labeling, and anything that looks like them are not red-tailed boas. Red-tailed boas are classified as boa constrictor constrictors, while these 2 are common boas and are classified as boa constrictors imperator. Again, I'm probably saying that word wrong as well. I've also kind of heard it said in various different ways, so don't judge. But anyway, what makes these 2 different are location and appearance. While they are similar in appearance, they are also very different. True red-tailed boas, or BCC, often have very bright and vibrant red tinted tails, as you can see in this borrowed picture. While common boas, or BCI, like my girls here, have tails that are a little less colorful and duller in appearance. They also have different patterns than that of a common boa. True red-tailed boas will typically have intense peaks to the center of their patterns, while common boas have broader, more saddle-like patterns. Now, as far as locale goes, true red-tailed boas are typically found around the Venezuela, Peru, Suriname areas, while common boas are mostly found around the areas of Colombia. Now let's get back to boas as a whole, because I've obviously just went on a little bit of a tangent there. But now, Boas and pythons are often mistaken as the same species for people who are not really in the hobby, they don't really know, and they tend to think they're one and the same. However, years of fieldwork have taught us that there are some differences between the two that require them to be classified as separate species. Now, aside from location, one thing that makes boas different than any other species in general is that they have fewer bones as well as fewer teeth. Another and probably the biggest difference between boas and pythons are that boas are typically viviparous. Viviparous? I am struggling to say that word, but there it is, right written on the screen. And this means that they actually give birth to live young. Now, this being the case, they tend to also have less parenting when it comes to their young, like that of pythons, because instead of having to stay wrapped around their eggs for safety and warmth like that of pythons, they get to just carry their young inside of them while they move around and they don't have to really think about it. Now, both boas and pythons have what are called spurs, which are essentially just remnants of limbs that their ancestors once had. On males, these tend to be larger and are used when attempting to mate. Lastly, both boas and pythons use a method of constriction to kill their prey. This is where they coil themselves around their food and constrict, cutting off the air supply to their prey until it dies, and then they can safely devour their prey whole. So the Boidae are a large family of amazing snakes, and I have personally grown to really love and enjoy this species as a whole. And I absolutely see myself having more of them in my future, and I highly suggest that you find one in yours as well. So that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It has been a long time coming. It has taken a lot of digging around and finding proper, accurate information all throughout the internet. And I've had a really good time putting this video together, although it was a little stressful at moments, just trying to get my facts straight and not really having enough resources to actually answer all the questions that I wanted to. So, if you guys feel like I left anything out in this video, I really want you to take it upon yourself to put that in the comments, because I want this video to educate people, and it doesn't have to be just them watching this video to educate people. They can scroll down and they can see more things in the comments. So if you feel like I left anything out, please drop them in the comments. If you feel like I made a mistake in something that I said, please drop it in the comments. I'm all about learning and educating myself further, and I don't know everything. I had to do a lot of digging to find out more information than I actually already knew. So anyway, you guys take care. Love yourselves, love your reptile, love your loved ones, and you guys keep spreading those herbs.